David Levithan, who is a good friend of mine, who's also an editor at Scholastic as well as being an amazing author, he called me up and he said, I have this great idea for a book, but you have to write it. And we should talk about it over lunch. And he said the magic word, which was lunch. So we went and had lunch, and he said, okay, plane load of teen beauty queens crash on an island. What do you got for me? And I was like, this burrito is amazing. Also that idea. I am totally stealing it. And so we shook hands and we're like, I said, I was still writing the Gemma Doyle trilogy. And I said, eventually I will write that book. And it was good that there were a few years in there, because in those years, it felt like there was this huge backlash against feminism. And I had grown up calling myself a feminist. I had marched for NOW at 17. I'd always been interested in being able to sort of fully inhabit space in a way that I think women are not encouraged to do, even if that was a struggle for me to feel entitled to that. That's a lifelong struggle. And so in those years, it felt like there had been this huge backlash against feminism and against women in general, certainly through our laws. And I remember the moment that I had walked into a grocery store, and you know how they always have the tabloids up there. There's Us and People and In Touch, and your sister called me with a tip, and your neighbor, NSA Weekly, whatever it is. They're all there. And all of them, there were covers, and in all the covers with Kim Kardashian and Beyonce, and they were also reductive. It was, what is Kim wearing this week? Is she engaged? Is she pregnant? And I remember that there were a lot of those for Beyonce. Is Beyonce pregnant or is she getting married? Whatever it was. And the thing was that week, I believe, she had something like, she had reached some milestone on the Billboard charts. Like I think she had more number ones than Elvis or Michael Jackson or something like some really big marker. But all of the tabloids were like, what is she wearing? Is she getting married? Oh my gosh, is she pregnant? Bump watch. And I thought, are you kidding me? Really? This is where we are? And I was so mad. And then I think at the same time, like that same day, I had to run an errand where I wanted to get some moisturizer because my skin was dry. And so I'm like looking for dry skin lotion, as one does. And I'm going past all these shelves, and it is like age correcting or defying or shaping. Every single label on a product was shaming in some way. It was basically saying, you are not right, but we can fix you. And then P.S., there was one product under men's, and it was like dry skin lotion. And I thought, again, like, really? This is where we are? And that made me a little mad. So I wanted to write about that. But the important thing to say, and I would say this about all my writing, is that it's not, I'm not going in saying, well, I want to deliver a message. I always go in saying, this disturbs me and I want to explore it. And it's not that I have the answers, I have the questions and I have the feelings, and I want to explore those things fully. I want to challenge the status quo, but that means challenging my own status quo too and taking myself to uncomfortable places. So I would never say that I'm going into something fully formed, like I've popped out of the head of Zeus. It's always, I'm going in with like a little bit of a torch and lots of questions.